It's another Wednesday on Jolash Online Radio and TV station, Eleyele Ibadan. You are welcome to Greater Tomorrow platform, a platform that showcases our young people, a platform where our young people come to share their views, a platform where they come to show us their skills and their talents. I am Chinyere Adeyemo. I welcome you this week once again to Greater Tomorrow platform. You're welcome. I told you Greater Tomorrow platform is a platform for young people. And if you remember, if you've been following us, you will remember that the last two editions we've had teenagers as our guests. Today I have two special people in the studio with me. Just that they are not teenagers. Okay, they are pre-preteens. They are not yet teenagers, they are pre-preteens. So, welcome with me this morning to the studio, Dasola Jemisheye. You're welcome, Dasola. Say hello to our viewers. Hello, viewers. And we also have Oluwafuminiyi Adeyemo. Fuminiyi, you're welcome to the program. Thank you. Now, this morning, we will have two segments on this program. We will have the segment for discussion, and we will also have the segment where our lovely children will display their skills. It's going to be amazing. But before we do that, like I said, the discussion segment, we will be looking at child sexual abuse. Our children have been on holidays. And you know, a lot of times we as parents, we're always the ones who talk to them about child sexual abuse. So I have these two young people in the studio today to educate us on child sexual abuse from a child's perspective, what they understand by child sexual abuse, the dangers it poses on people who are abused, the victims, and they will even be telling us how to protect ourselves from child sexual abuse. So let me start with Dasola. Dasola, how will you describe child sexual abuse? I mean, what can happen to a child and you will say this child has been sexually abused?
You will know a child has been sexually abused by looking at the way the child acts. If he's thinking a lot and used to be always have fear.
Always have fear. Okay. So she's already telling us the effects of child sexual abuse. So she's saying that child sexual abuse, when a child is sexually abused, the child will think a lot and the child will be afraid. The child will always have fear. And that is not a good place to be in. Fuminiyi, do you have any other thing to add? What can happen? What can happen to a child and you will say this child was sexually abused? What are the activities that can be referred to as child sexual abuse?
To know if one has been abused sexually, the child will always be crying when the child sees the person that abused the child.
Okay. They've twisted it. They are telling me the effects. Okay. The child will always be, the child will cry when the child sees the person that has been abused. Okay, maybe I should, you're still not understanding my question. Okay, so maybe I should just ask you straight. What is child sexual abuse? What are the activities that can happen and you will say this is child sexual abuse? Or if somebody comes to tell you a story of what happened to him or her, what are some of the things the person will say and you will say this is child sexual abuse? They taught us in school.
Raping in a way that forcing someone to sleep with you.
Okay, so when a child, and remember we're saying, when we talk about a child here, we're talking about either male or female. It is not only the female child that is raped. So, Dasola is telling us that rape, forcefully sleeping with a child, is considered as child sexual abuse. Fuminiyi, do you have any other thing that is considered as child sexual abuse? You don't have? Is it only rape you know as child sexual abuse? I thought outside you told me some things. So give me other examples of child sexual abuse. Will you consider watching pornographic movies child sexual abuse?
Like
Yes.
watching pornography movies.
Like watching pornographic movies. When a child is exposed to pornographic movies, it is regarded as child sexual abuse, right? Good. What other things are
Incest.
regarded? Incest. When children of the same, when siblings, when children of the same mother and father sleep with each other, it is called child sexual abuse. Any other one that you know? We said when an adult exposes his private parts, Abi, we also said it is regarded as child sexual abuse. Okay, so we were also looking at, now let's look at the effects on a child that is sexually abused. You have already started telling me, but now I want us to talk about it some more. What are the dangers of child sexual abuse to a child? When a child is sexually abused, how do you think it will affect that child? What are the things that the child will be doing?
The person will always be afraid, always crying, and will never forget about what happened.
The child will never forget about the experience. The child will always cry. The child will think about it. Do you have any other one that can happen to a child when the child is sexually abused?
The child might do poor in exams.
The child will do poorly in exams because, you know, child sexual abuse is so traumatic that the child will not be able to concentrate, right? The child will not be able to concentrate on his studies. The child will not be able to concentrate on her studies, and it will affect the way the child will perform in his or her studies, which will eventually affect how the child will perform in his or her exams. All right. Now, apart from that, do you have other examples? Maybe I should ask us, do you have any idea of people that usually abuse children? Relatives. Okay, many times Fomini is telling us that relatives abuse children, okay?
Like your uncle, your aunt, also part of relatives.
Okay.
But strangers.
Yes, strangers also abuse children. But you know, for the benefit of our children that are listening at home, we also want us to remember that 93%, a whopping 93, that's 93 out of 100, 93% of people that abuse children are people they know. They can be relatives, they can be authority figures, they can be neighbors, they can be friends in schools. Now remember too that it is not only adults that abuse children. Children also abuse children. So like when somebody in class tells you, let's go to the toilet, I want to show you something. That's already child sexual abuse. What will he want to show you in the toilet? When your classmate is showing you his or her private parts, that is already child sexual abuse. So whatever sexual activities adults do with children, if a child does it with a child too, it is also termed as child sexual abuse. All right. Now I remember that you were taught ways to protect yourselves from child sexual abuse using the acronym PANTS. Were you? Yes, you were taught ways to protect yourselves and ways children can protect themselves from child sexual abuse using the acronym PANTS. Can we talk about PANTS? So what is P? Private are private. Are you listening to us, children at home? Are you listening to us, mommy and daddy, whose children are not listening to us? Our children are telling us today, Fominiyi and Dasola are telling us today that to protect our children from child sexual abuse, we need to let them understand that their privates are private. Their private parts are private. Maybe we should even take it further and ask, what are private parts? Fominiyi, what are private parts, and give me examples of private parts.
Private parts are the parts of the body that no one is supposed to see or touch.
Okay, our private parts are those parts of our bodies that no one is supposed to see, no one is supposed to touch, and we are not supposed to touch other people's own. Right?
Yes.
Right. And they are also parts of our bodies that are covered with our underwears. Right?
Yes.
Right. So give me examples of private parts.
As for girls, example of our private parts are our vagina, our breast, our armpits.
All right. The vagina, the breast, the armpits are examples of private parts for girls. For boys, Fominiyi,
Buttocks,
the buttocks,
the breast,
the breast,
the penis.
and the penis. The buttocks, the breast, and the penis are also examples of private parts for boys. So the difference really is just the vagina and the penis, but every other part of the body that is private is common to both boys and girls. So I'll take it again. For the private parts for the boys and girls, we have the buttocks, we have the breast, we have the armpit, we include the mouth. You know, when children are kissed, we include the mouth, and specifically, gender specifics, we have the vagina and the penis. All right. Now, what are examples of public parts? What are public parts, by the way, Dasola?
Public parts are the parts that people can see and touch on our body.
Okay, public parts are those parts of our bodies that people can see and they can touch. Fomini, can you give me some examples of public parts?
Your hand,
The hand,
the leg,
the legs,
your eyes,
the eyes,
your head,
the head, you know, those parts of our bodies that anybody can see, anybody can touch. All right, now let's go to pants before we display our talents and we wrap up on this edition. Let's go to the pants acronym. Now, viewers at home, we said that pants acronym is the acronym we can use to teach our children how to protect themselves. By the way, the pants acronym comes under the underwear rule. And the underwear rule says no one is allowed to touch any part of your body covered by your underwear. So let's go with the pants. P. What is P in pants rule?
Private and private.
Private are private. Tell your children that they are private parts. And Fominiyi and Dasola have told us, they've given us examples of our private parts. Their private parts are private. A. Fominiyi.
always remember that your body belongs to you.
Always remember. Tell your child to always remember that his or her body belongs to him or her. Which means that he or she can refuse anybody touching any part of their body, especially the private part. Okay, so who is telling us N? N in pants.
No is an important word.
No is an important word. No means no. Your child should be able to say no in the face of danger. Your child should be able to say no when he or she is when he or she encounters somebody who wants to abuse him or her sexually. All right, so what is T?
Talk about it.
Talk about secrets that upset you. So tell your child at home and children at home, Dasola and Fominiyi are telling you that don't hide those secrets. If anybody tells you, don't tell anybody. If you tell anybody, we will kill you, we will kill your mommy, we will kill your daddy, don't mind them. When your daddy comes, when your mommy comes, when your teacher comes, when you see any adult that you trust, that you know can protect you, report. Talk about secrets that upset you, especially those secrets where your private parts are touched and you are told not to tell anybody, either because you have been promised sweet, or you've been promised chocolate, or you've been promised anything, or they have even threatened that they will kill anybody in your family. Talk about secrets that upset you. And what is S in pants?
Speak up
Speak up. Someone is willing to help. Speak up. Someone is willing to help. And I remember too that you were taught, if I have not forgotten, I think you were taught the pants song. Let's quickly sing it, then we go to the skill display. Can we sing the pants song? Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Now make sure you sing out so that our viewers at home can hear you. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Privates are private. Always remember that your body belongs to you. No, it's an important one. Talk about secrets that may upset you. Speak up. Someone is willing to help. Say no. Say no.
Beautiful. That privates are private. Always remember that your body belongs to you. No is an important word. Talk about secrets that upset you. Speak up. Someone is willing to help. Did you hear that? Privates are private. Always remember that your body belongs to you. No is an important word. Speak up. Someone is willing to help. So we come to the end of this interview section with Dasola and Fuminiyi on Greater Tomorrow platform on Jolash online radio and TV station Eleyele Ibadan. Now we go to the skills display segment. We have these children here. They are going to display their skills to us by using their recorders. They'll take a song together, and it's a popular song that I'm sure you know. So if you want to dance along, feel free to dance along with them as they blow it and we listen to them. When they have finished, I'm going to ask you the song that they fluted on their recorder. All right, so Dasola and Fuminiyi, go ahead and let's go. To us, do care. Can we clap for our children? Well done, Dasola and Fuminiyi. Well done. I'm sure your mommies and your daddies will be proud of you. Well done. You have been watching Greater Tomorrow platform on Jolash online radio and TV station Eleyele Ibadan. This morning I have had with me in the studio Dasola and Fuminiyi. Dasola and Fuminiyi have told us about child sexual abuse, and they have taught children what they should do to prevent child sexual abuse. And then they also played Duduke for us on the flute. I think I should just at this juncture say a shout out to Mr. Balogun, because these are Mr. Balogun's products. He's their music teacher, and what they just played is a product of what Mr. Balogun taught them. So well done, Mr. Balogun. Well done, Crown Heights School, for giving these children the opportunity to learn how to flute. And it is not only Duduke they can flute to, they can flute many other things. Like I said, on Greater Tomorrow platform, we showcase children. We showcase young people. Feel free to contact us if you want your children to be in the studio with us. If you want us to invite your children to the studio, feel free to let us know that child that you know that is doing amazing things, that teenager that you know that is doing exploits, because what this program is about is just about showcasing our young people, giving them a platform to voice out their skills, their talents, their views. You have been watching Greater Tomorrow platform on Jolash Online Radio and TV station, Eleyele Ibadan. Have you enjoyed yourself today? I have enjoyed myself. Dasola and Fumini, have you enjoyed yourselves?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you have. All right. So we are going to wrap up here. And before we go, I would like Dasola and Nii to... Do you have anything you want to tell children outside there? The children listening to you? Any advice you want to give them? You have an advice. Okay, what piece of advice do you want to give them?
That any child that any adult, no adult should rape a child forcefully.
No adult, no child should agree to be slept with forcefully. That means the child should shout, the child should run, the child should report, the child should speak up. That's all. What advice do you have for a child outside?
Like, people that rape people deceive them that they are going to die if they tell them, but speak up. I advise you to speak up. None of you will die in Jesus.
Amen. Okay, they have put prayers for us that none of them will die. They should not be afraid. They should speak up. You have been watching Greater Tomorrow platform on Jolash Online Radio and TV station, Eleyele Ibadan. This has been Chinyere Adeyemo talking with Dasola and Fuminiyi on today's edition of Greater Tomorrow platform. Till I come your way next week with a fresh edition of Greater Tomorrow platform. From me, it's bye-bye and God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́.